Your final strategy that you need to do in your DI, which is using offset accounts. So what is an offset account? It's a product that banks offer to people who take out home loans. It's basically a savings account or transaction account that you can put money in and you can withdraw money out of it, but it doesn't earn any interest. So what's the point of it? Instead, any money in the offset account reduces the remaining debt on your home loan that's attached for the purpose of calculating interest. So for me personally, my home loan, I had an offset account that I've kept 20 grand in the whole time. So what does that mean? Instead of owing the bank 500 grand, the first month I owed them 480,000. I took 20 grand off of that for the purpose of calculating interest. I can withdraw money from that 20 grand, I can put more money in. It's flexible. But any money that's in there, at the end of the month when they calculate interest on your home loan, they calculate it after subtracting the offset. So the more money in the offset, the better. Basically, it works like a lump sum payment. But with a lump sum payment, if you put 20 grand into the lump sum, it's spent. It's gone. You can't get it back. With an offset account, it's just sitting in a bank account. So, okay, while it's sitting there, it's subtracting 20 grand. If I removed that 20,000 because I wanted to buy a car, well, it's not in the offset anymore, it's not subtracting, but at least I can use it. That lump sum, you've spent it, it's gone. So can you see there's an advantage to using an offset account? I run into a bunch of money. I got an inheritance from someone. I don't know what to do with it. If I just park it in an offset account, it's going to subtract from my home loan, it's going to save me money. And later, I might be able to use it for an emergency. So there's an advantage to using that. If you had $100,000 you inheritance and then you just blew it on a lump sum, yeah, it's going to save you a lot of money, but it's gone now. You can't do anything with that. All right. So mathematically, what does that mean? Anytime money is in the offset account, you subtract from the current debt. When an offset ends, you add the offset amount back to the remaining debt. Why? Because you no longer have an offset in there. And once again, there will be multiple TVM solvers and multiple sections of interest to calculate. So for example, section of loan before the offset, section of loan during the offset, and section of loan after the offset. To get the highest possible grade in your DI, you need to show the hardest usage of an offset, so it's within the loan term. So let's pretend you paid the loan normally for a few years, then you had an offset for a few years, and then you took the offset out. 3 sections, that's the hardest maths that you need to do in this whole topic. It's also the last question of your test. So let's do an example of that. Consider the default loan of 2025. We're paying the loan normally for 5 years. Then I ran into $10,000 and I put it into the offset for 10 years. So I subtracted 10 grand for 10 years, and then I withdrew the offset again and paid normally for the remaining time. How much interest am I going to save by doing that? So let's do the first 5 years. How would I work out? I stuffed that up, it's already there. First 5 years is going to be N of 60, and that's going to give me an FV of negative 459,143.53. So how much interest did I pay in the first 5 years? 60 payments of 2684.11 minus, I started off at 500 grand and I got it down to 459,143.53. In the first 5 years, I'm going to pay off $120,190.13 of interest. 10 years of offset. What would N be if I'm paying monthly for 10 years of time? Yes? 120. What's the purpose of this? I need to work out how much money I owe the bank after this 10 years of offset. So after the first 5 years, I owed the bank 459,143.53, but I'm offsetting it. What's the offset amount? According to the question, how much am I offsetting it by?
10,000.
Good. So in this 10 years of offset, I'm subtracting 10,000 from what I owe the bank. So it's going to be 449,143.53. So now work out how much am I going to owe the bank at the end of this 10 years. So go into the TVM solver, 120, 449,143.53 3.53. The payments were negative 2684.11. And because it's not for the whole duration of the loan, I'm going to owe the bank something. Alpha, enter. This tells me that I still owe the bank $322,948.94 to 2 decimal points. Let's work out how much interest. Sorry, I didn't show the working of this. 60 times by 2684.11 minus 500 grand. Take 459,143.53 equals that. Sorry, I want to show the full working. Let's work out the interest in the offset. 120 payments of 2684.11 minus. What's the first number going to be? What was my starting debt at the start of the 10 years of offset? Yeah?
449,143.
Good. It's the amount after I've offset it. 449,143.53 minus, and I got it down to 322,948.94. What's that going to be? Second quit. 120 payments of 2684.11 minus 449,143.53 minus 322,948.94. Okay, during the offset, I paid off $195,898.61 of interest. So the last little bit of the offset maths is, what happens to the remainder of the loan? If I'm taking the offset out, can I subtract 10 grand anymore? If I've got $10,000 used to be in the offset account, now it's gone. So I need to add that $10,000 back. So it's going to be, I owed the bank $322,948.94, but there's no offset anymore, so I add that back on. It's going to be $332,948.94, and we just need to work out how long it takes to pay off the rest of the loan. $332,948.94. I don't want to owe the bank anything at the end. How long is it going to take me? Alpha, enter. It's going to take 174.95 payments in 2DP. How much interest did I pay in the rest of the loan? 174.95 payments. 2684.11 minus 332,948.94. 174.95 times 2684.11. Take away 332,948.94. 136,636.10 to 2DP. Total interest paid. I have 3 chunks of interest here. First 5 years. During the offset. And the remainder after the offset was taken out. So 120,190.13 plus 195,898.61 plus 136,636.10. So for this offset loan, I paid $452,724.84 in interest. Is that less than the default? Where's your little folded over page? What was the amount of interest I paid on your default home loan? It was 4 something. Yep.
466,279.8.
Take away 452,724.84. Minus $466,279.60. That's going to save me $13,554.76. So if I parked, I didn't lose the 10 grand. I parked it there for 10 years and it saved me $13,554.76. So you can see it's slightly better strategy than lump sum because you didn't lose that money. What if you had an injury or you desperately need to buy a car or something, you can spend that money. Whereas with a lump sum, that 10 grand, it's gone. It's been spent already. Yeah, it's going to save you more, but it's not convenient like this, okay? That is the last strategy. You need to think of variations. How does size of offset affect the interest saved? So how can we do that? What if we had an offset of 15 grand, same timing? That's going to show size. Lastly, how does duration of offset affect interest saved? So here, what if you did 10 grand, but you did it for 15 years? There's your 3 strategies. 10 grand after 5 years for 10 years, 15 grand after 5 years for 10 years, and then do the same numbers but after 10 years instead. Okay? I'll stop the recording there so you can work. I've got a lot of people shotgunned to mark.